Hi everybody, Patty Ian here. Hey, today Anita on our Facebook group was having a hard time figuring out how to exactly get her embroidery designs centered where she wanted them to be. So today's video is going to be a short one, like a Monday minute, and it's going to show you how easy it is to center things. This happens to be a bag I bought from the Dollar Tree. I just trimmed off the edges so that I can embroider on the front, and then easy peasy with my sewing machine I can sew the seams back together once I have it, of course, right sides together, and then flip it back out, and I've got a perfect bag. So let's get started. Okay, I just finished sewing this side, and as you can see, it turned out beautifully. It's nicely centered exactly where I wanted it to be. How did I get it to do this? Watch. So this is the bag again that I got from the Dollar Tree, and I just cut it apart. I'm going to sew it back together when I'm done. I'm going to put the same thing on this side of the bag. Okay, so I've already sprayed it with Terial Magic. I like to do that. I like that product because it kind of stiffens it and it allows me to have a better embroidery, I feel. If you're not sure what I'm saying, this is the stuff I use. It's not cheap, but it really helps and it lasts a long time. And I think I do have it linked down below for you so you can see what it is. So I'm just letting this dry. And when this is dry, as you can see here, I printed out the template from in Embrilliance. And when I printed it out, it did have little lines here that showed the center. All I did was used my ruler and a colored pencil and made them a little bit longer, right? And I can tell exactly where the center of my design is, right here. So the next thing I could do is take, if I can make you see a little better. Okay, take this bag and fold it in half, right? Just fold it in half perfectly. I can either just use my fingers, or if I want to, I can actually press it a little bit. So I know exactly where the center is. So that tells me exactly how I have to have this lined up. And now with this piece of paper, with this design, I can see where would I like it to be. And I guess I should have it sort of where the other one is. Doesn't really matter, but so if it's sort of where the other one is, it would be right here. So what I would now do is take my marker. This is called Mark Be Gone. You just wet it and it goes away. So I could just mark here and here and here and here. And if I wanted to, I could try to poke a hole right through here to get the middle right there. Then again, I could draw the lines because this will help make sure everything's perfectly aligned. So there's a line that I can barely see. And then here's another one. Now remember, you might want to test this on your fabric first, you know, if you're using one of these pens, to make sure that it's you know, going to work well. Okay, so there's that. Now, funny thing is, what I used for the stabilizer for this is I've been using a lot of parchment paper for some projects I'm working on that are behind me that you can't see right now. But I used the parchment paper that was left over, and it actually worked for the first one, so I'm just going to do it again. So I stick my parchment paper in here, and then I'm going to stick my piece right on top. Now what I'm going to do next is I am going to put this thing that comes with your hoop in the hoop like this, push it down in, and I can see, is this lining up? Is the center dot lining up? No, it's really not. So I can move this over a little bit till it's on the center dot, and then just kind of press it into place. So these are lined up great. This is lined up, the center dot, and this. So that's going to be perfect just like that. So I'll take my hoop, try not to move anything, and let's see, did I move anything? I don't think I did. Get my hoop right in here. I might have to take this out for a minute. There's a little pokey hole right here that helps you take it out. And put this down in. I think I didn't loosen it enough. Okay, there we go. and put that down in like that. And before I go and do anything though, I am going to put this back in here again and see, is it still lining up? Okay, it's just a wee teensy weensy bit off right here, but I don't think that's going to be enough to worry about. If it was, I could unhoop it and do it again. So now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here to my machine and go back to my pattern. Let's see if I can get you like this. There we go. Okay. And go back to my pattern, put this in, make sure the handle stays out of the way, and I'm just tightening up this screw to make sure it's nice and tight. Okay. And this would basically work the same way in all of your machines, or this is one way you can do it. There's many ways. Put this on, make sure that's right. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here, I'm going to hit the back arrow, and I'm going to go to layout, right there. And when I'm in layout now, I'm going to go to this little thing right here. It shows a needle and a little dotted square around it. I'm going to click on that. So what that's going to do is going to show me, if I click on this button right here, and I wish you could see, I hope my hand's not in the way. If I click in this one right here, it makes my machine go all the way to the left where that's going to end. And I can actually start to put my needle down a little bit to see, is it on the line? Is it enough on the line, close enough? Or do I need to go ahead and adjust this? So to me that looked good. I'm going to go back to the, oopsie. Press the needle position. Oh, I guess it didn't go all the way up. So now I'm going to go over here on this side. And again, I can put my needle down like that and back up. Perfect. And then I'm going to go, I could go up here if I want to and make sure these lines are lined up, and I can see that's lined up, especially if I put my needle down, it's on the line. And then I can do the last one down at the bottom down here. But of course, my most important one to me is the middle one. So I'm going to go back to the middle, put my needle down, and see, is it in the middle? Okay, it's not perfectly in the middle. And I've been noticing that all along, and you probably can't see that. But what I can do is this. I can still adjust how this is fitting here by going back one and using these arrows. So we know we're in the middle position right now, and it should hit that middle position right here. If I go ahead and make it move a little bit to the right and maybe down one, now I'm going to put the needle down and see if that's in a better spot. Almost perfect. Let's bring the needle back up. I'm going to move it over one more dot, down, up, maybe one more, down, perfect, up. Okay, so now I'm ready to start embroidering. So all I have to do is I can go back there if I want to, put down my presser foot and just begin. And that is going to be a beautifully centered design. Okay, in case you're curious, I have the bag totally finished, and now I'm simply sewing the sides back together that I had cut apart to make this bag easy peasy to embroider. I'm going to start at the top or the bottom and just kind of go a few stitches and then back stitch to secure it, and then go forward again. When I get to the bottom, whoopsie, you guys got dropped. When I get to the bottom, I'll backstitch again. Okay, and I could be done here. If I'd like to, one other thing I could do is to make the base of this be a little bit squared so it would stand up somewhat. So in order to do that, all you do is take the bag like this and just kind of bring this seam here with this seam here, and I'm going to sew straight across, and you'll see what it does in a moment. So I should probably mark this with a pencil and be more accurate, but I'm just showing you, and I'm just using this silver line right here as my measurement so that both sides are pretty much the same. Yeah, and you saw I put ouchie on one of my videos. See my ouchie? Not sure if my friend's dog did that or how I did it. She has a new puppy who's pretty big. So I'm not sure if that's what happened. Okay, so there's one done. Let's see. Something feels weird here. Let's do the other side. So again, I'm sticking my finger in here, kind of pushing this down so that this seam meets the bottom of the bag and it's nice and straight. Straighten it out like this. And then line up again to the same place. Go forward some and then back. And then forward again. And back stitch. And I see something is happening weird with my machine. Okay, let's see what did I do. I think it'll be okay to show you what I've done. So now I'm going to turn the bag inside out. Of course I would, get rid of these extra strings and stuff. But just so you can see how cute it is for a Dollar Store bag. I mean, this thing was $1. And now I have a little boxy bottom like this. Let's see if you can see. There it is. And it'll almost stand up if I put things in it. How can you see anything, right? That's how it almost stands up. And it's super duper cute. I'm real pleased with how it turned out. Put it on one side and the other. And of course, if I had done it in orange, it would be cute for a pumpkin for real. So that's it. See ya.